Welcome to the High School Instructional Continuity for Academic Needs, or ICAN, plan. Compassion and Grace has been the call to action by our Education Commissioner, Richard Corcoran. At this time, we are returning to school on April 15th. As you are planning your lesson and delivery and communicating with students, please keep April 15th in mind. As we, Bernadette Bennett and Cynthia Conway, present the plan, please keep in mind the struggles our students, families, and our own during this unprecedented time. These are extraordinary times. Be in touch with your students often and maintain a level of grace and compassion in grading and communicating while maintaining academic integrity and in completing assignments. Remember, students may be watching siblings, worried about rent, and a host of other challenges during this unprecedented time. The state has eliminated all testing, LEOC, EOCs, and FSA, which provides us with flexibility for our fourth quarter. No zeros or grades below 70s will be added into the gradebook.
Time considerations. Plan 25 minutes per day, or approximately 2 hours per course per week for your students' work. In a traditional school day, students have about 15 hours of class per week. When you consider the meat of your in-class lessons, removing bell work, classroom management, relationship building activities, and all those other things we do, this is approximately in line with the traditional learning at 25 minutes per day. Again, to be clear, our expectation is to not exceed that 25 minutes a day. Please remember to maintain compassion and grace when planning any instructional materials. Students may be sharing laptops, watching siblings, and may not have the ability to work when you can be available. Some may be working at night. If you choose to offer live sessions, please consider they may not support all students. Offer multiple sessions and a recorded option for students unavailable during those daytime hours. Communication with students. Your initial contact with students needs to include your syllabus, instructions, and an assignment list. Make sure you connect with all students. You may use Remind, ClassDojo, or other third-party communication apps, such as Google Voice, but email tends to be the easiest. Do not use your personal cell phone number for your protection. All students have email through Office 365 and their IN numbers. IT will provide more guidance. Considering your office hours, block your daily time to fit your family needs while providing large blocks of time for student support. For example, you can do multiple hours in the morning and then some in the afternoon. But remember to adapt to your students' needs as we go through this process.
Many elective courses, including Holocaust, hip hop, financial literacy, and law courses, will need to be delivered through an online content created by the teacher. We will be using a structure in the following slides that will help you plan for your students. For the time being, there are no tests. Students will be graded on projects, activities, writings that you ask them to complete. We are only allowed to ask students to work for 25 minutes per day, approximately 2 hours per week per course. As you develop lessons, think of the 1 to 2 week unit type plan. Student access is still a bit questionable. Some students may only have access to emails, limited computer time if sharing with siblings. Please be patient with your students. We do not know what they are dealing with. Do not use this as an opportunity to explore new delivery methods or platforms. Let's focus on learning. We are only planning through April 15th. Remember, do not use personal phone numbers. Google Voice and other programs should be used. If you are already using a specific platform or learning management system, You may continue to do this. If not, you will need to send specific lessons, including learning objectives, tasks, activities, videos, etc. Remember, only 25 minutes per day for a total of 2 hours per week. You will be expected to maintain your Sarasota County Schools gradebook. However, we are doing mastery-based learning. Project grades, assignments, writing activities will be graded at 70% or higher, or leave them blank. Make sure you are remediating and supporting students who are not achieving mastery. If you do not currently use an online platform for your class and do not have an APEX option, you may email weekly project-based assignments, and hence students email their projects and assignments back to you. Projects should be broken down into small, manageable daily tasks that fit into the time considerations. Communicate your office hours and monitor student progress. Please be in contact with your students at least a couple of times per week, either email, Zoom, Google Voice. Students may need extra support or need to communicate issues at home that are blocking access. Compassion and grace. Our students are experiencing unprecedented times and hardships, as are we. Develop project-based units with daily guidance. A student may finish it all on one day. Another student may finish it on the last day. Check in with students who are not communicating with you. Remember, 25 minutes per day, or about 2 hours per week. The next few slides are samples of a Holocaust unit or project-based lesson plan, one on deportation camps and the other on Nuremberg trials. Notice time is built in for opportunities and conferencing. Be sure to embed these times for students to contact you. This is a 2-week project on the Nuremberg trials. Week 1 includes documents, readings, and a lengthy video. This may be too much for 1 week. Perhaps excluding 1 or 2 of the reading assignments, adjusting the video for a shorter period of time. There are many options for adjusting this lesson to be shorter than 2 hours for the week. This is week 2 of the lesson. The culminating of writing assignment may need more time to develop. There may be more time added to support students with their writing. Perhaps eliminating a couple of the other assignments would help support this very tight time frame of only 2 hours. At this time, we will be focused on APEX. To access APEX, please use the website apexvs.com. Also, Chrome is the recommended browser. Internet Explorer may have issues. If a student is having issues, the first question to ask is, which browser are you using? Courses in APEX have been modified based upon the instructional focus guides to accommodate all of the 4th quarter. Again, at this time, we are only focusing through April 15th. AB, AP, IB, and ACE will follow the directions and guidance from their programs. Dual enrollment courses should be following the directions from each university or college.
APEX is a great option for all of our core content area teachers. Directions, videos, links will all be shared with you for your access, as well as directions for your students. APEX allows teachers to focus on facilitating and supporting our students. Because the curriculum has been built for us, all of the lessons and activities are found within APEX. Your planning time will be much shorter, and you will focus on connecting with your students. Also, this will allow your students continuity in the event of any unforeseen circumstances where your team must pick up your instruction in your unexpected absence. Please do not enter grades into SCS gradebook. Guidance on grading will be forthcoming. Remember, we're only dealing with until April 15th right now. APEX is mastery-based. This means that each unit is designed with study materials, possible reading and discussion assignments, and quizzes. Quizzes allow 2 attempts before they are locked for teacher remediation. It is at this point the teacher is expected to come in and support the student. APEX and grades. Teachers will not add individual assignments into their SCS gradebook. If you choose to send a video or other supplemental support material to remediate student understanding, this will not be graded. Should remote learning continue through the end of the quarter, further instructions will be provided regarding how you are grading your students. Remember, we are only planning through April 15th at this point.
APEX login instructions. Above are the links to the APEX login. Video links, direction, and much more is being emailed to you with comprehensive links. Just a reminder, World History and World History Honors content in APEX begins with Global Conflicts, World War I, Unit 4, Unit 6 on the IFG. U.S. History and U.S. History Honors content in APEX begins with Unit 4, the Cold War, IFG Unit 6. Government Honors and Government content in APEX begins with Unit 3. The content did not match up to our IFG sequence. We selected units and lessons based on the Instructional Focus Guide Units 3 and 4. Economics and Financial Literacy and Economics with Financial Literacy Honors content in APEX begins with Unit 4. The content did not match up to our IFG sequence, so we selected units and lessons based on the IFG Units 3 and 4. We know that this is not exactly where you may have left off. However, we are no longer bound to EOCs and LEOCs. We have a bit of flexibility. The elective psychology and sociology are also available in APEX if a teacher decides to use them. Consistency is important, but you will need to be flexible based on your students' needs. Send a reminder of work that needs to be completed and communicate office hours with students so they're able to contact you. Considering using Google Voice on your phone for this type of work, do not use your personal cell phone number. You may end up adapting your times based on your students' needs and your changing schedule. As we close out our presentation, please remember compassion and grace. Relationships before rigor, grace before grades, patience before programs, and love before lessons. Thank you. Please be patient. We are all in a new era of teaching and learning.